All right, get ready for this because today we're diving into a story that sounds like, I don't know, something you'd see in a movie. But I'm telling you, this is 100% real. Picture this. Surviving a hit from something that makes, I don't know, even the Death Star look like a toy.
Yeah, we're talking serious firepower.
Okay, so 12 people have walked on the moon, right? Only 8 have ever touched the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Right.
But get this. Only one person has ever been shot by a high-energy particle beam and lived to tell the tale. And that is the story we're unpacking today.
The story of Anatoli Bugorski.
Anatoly Bugorski. And what's even crazier is where this all goes down, right? It's
Yeah.
1978. We're talking Cold War Russia, shrouded in secrecy, in a city literally built around this machine so powerful it's difficult to even comprehend.
Yeah, a machine that could make atoms do backflips. The U-70 synchrotron.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. We've got a top secret facility, a scientist pushing the absolute boundaries of physics, and a machine that makes the Large Hadron Collider look like child's play. I've got chills already.
I mean, you talk about a recipe for disaster.
Right.
You have this massive ring over a mile around.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. It was built over a World War II battlefield.
Wait, so you're telling me this thing could be firing particles through, like old bombs and stuff?
It's crazy, right?
That's nuts.
Adds a whole other layer of what could go wrong to this story. But, to really understand why this accident is so remarkable, you got to wrap your head around the sheer power we're talking about with the U-70.
Yeah, break it down for me.
Okay, so it wasn't as powerful as the LHC we have today, but imagine, comparing the resolution of an old computer monitor to, a modern 4K screen.
Wow.
That's the kind of difference in energy levels.
Okay, so we're talking like orders of magnitude more intense than even what I was imagining.
Exactly.
No wonder this whole thing was like top secret, buried deep.
Oh, yeah.
But even with, you're saying older tech, less powerful tech, didn't they know how dangerous this stuff was?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this thing, the U-70, it could accelerate particles to almost the speed of light. We're talking incredibly intense radiation levels here. And, these weren't just giant racetracks for particles. These were incredibly complex machines. Meticulous precision required. One wrong step, and well, you can imagine.
Yeah, not good. So we've got this incredibly powerful machine, right?
Right.
But it's still a machine, so things are going to go wrong, right?
Yeah, and they did, unfortunately.
So how does this even happen? How does a scientist end up in the path of a particle beam? It's the stuff of nightmares.
It really is.
Yeah.
And, it's the kind of thing that it keeps physicists up at night.
Right.
And in Bugorski's case, it was like this perfect storm of unfortunate events, And it all started with what seemed like a pretty routine equipment malfunction.
Okay.
Something goes wrong in the U-70's accelerator tunnel.
So something's wrong. Does he call in the repair crew or something? What happened?
So this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
You see, Bugorski, he was a hands-on kind of guy.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He knew this machine like the back of his hand. So he contacts the control room, tells them, hey, I need to go in there. I need to get into the tunnel. I can fix this.
Okay.
I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Right.
The controller on duty is like, yeah, no problem. We'll divert the beam. Standard procedure.
Okay. Seems, yeah, I mean, so far so good, right?
Right.
What's the perfect storm part?
Remember that, that faulty safety system we talked about?
Oh, no.
Yeah, the one designed to, prevent this exact thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it decided to take a nap that day.
You're kidding me. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I wish I was. I wish I was making this up. So the system, it indicates that the accelerator is clear.
Right?
Right.
Right.
So the warning light is off.
Oh.
The door to the synchrotron room, it's left unlocked.
So he walks into what he thinks is an empty room, and it's not.
Precisely.
I'm getting anxious just hearing this.
Bugorski sees the all clear. He enters the synchrotron room. And get this. This room, it wasn't kept in a vacuum.
Okay.
The particle beam, it was designed to fire right through it.
Oh, my God.
No physical barrier.
So there were no, heavy doors, no nothing, just.
Nothing.
Wow.
And as Bugorski would later describe, he sees a flash brighter than 1,000 suns as that high-energy particle beam traveling at, basically the speed of light passes straight through his head.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, wrap my head around, first of all, the amount of radiation, just the actual physics of all of that happening so fast and him being there.
You're right, it's unfathomable. To put it into perspective, think about this. You would need to stand outside in direct sunlight receiving natural background radiation, right, for
Yeah.
almost 10 million years to accumulate the same ghost that Bugowski received in that split second.
It's a miracle he didn't, like, disappear.
Yeah.
So what happens? Then what happens? He collapses, right?
You would think so, right? This is where Bugowski's story gets even more unbelievable.
Mm.
He doesn't panic. Instead, he finishes his work,
What?
closes up the synchrotron room, goes back to his office.
No.
He even wrote a detailed report out the incident,
Yeah,
like it was just another day at the office,
wow.
all before seeking medical attention.
Hold on. So he just continues his workday after being hit by a particle beam? That's not palm under pressure. That's like, I don't even know what that is.
It really speaks to his, I don't know, his training, his discipline. I mean, maybe a healthy dose of shock,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Bugowski, he knew exactly what he'd been exposed to. He knew the likely outcome, but he also knew that there was nothing to be gained by panicking.
So he's walking around with this impossible secret, this ticking time bomb inside of him.
Yeah.
How long until, like, reality sets in?
It didn't take long for the consequences to start appearing, really. The next day, a colleague noticed that something was wrong.
Oh, no.
Bugowski's left cheek, it looked like a really bad sunburn, and his hair was falling out in clumps.
Oh, man. That's got to be one of those moments where your stomach just drops.
Yeah, like there's no denying it anymore.
Yeah.
So he finally tells his colleagues what happened.
Oh,
And safe to say, panic ensued. They rush him to the nearest hospital.
right. And what are we talking about here? Like, what are the doctors even dealing with at this point?
So Bugowski, he's exhibiting some pretty terrifying symptoms. The skin on his face, it wasn't just peeling, it was like sloughing off.
Oh, my.
He had lost hearing in his left ear, and the nausea was just relentless. So they transfer him immediately
Yeah.
to a top-secret facility in Moscow,
Wow.
Hospital Number 6, run by the 3rd Bureau of the Ministry of Health.
Okay, so this is not your average hospital.
No, this was the place that specialized in treating victims of nuclear accidents, like the worst of the worst cases.
So he's in the right place, but is it too late?
Honestly, his chances were beyond slim.
Wow.
But thankfully, he was put under the care of this doctor who, dedicated her entire career to, like, fighting the impossible, Dr. Angelina Guskova.
Okay, so Dr. Guskova. So she's a radiation expert. She's seen it all. She's got this patient who, statistically speaking, shouldn't even be alive at this point. Like, what's her game plan?
So Dr. Guskova, she suspected that there might be more to Bugowski's case than met the eye, so to speak.
Okay.
See, she was working from a theory based on the physics of high-energy particle beams.
Okay, all right, so break it down for me. What's the theory, and how could it possibly explain Bugowski surviving this?
So it all comes down to something called the Bragg peak, right?
Okay.
Essentially, these particle beams, they don't just dump all their energy at the point of impact.
Okay.
They release the maximum amount of energy after traveling a certain distance.
Wow.
So Dr. Gusagova, she theorized that the beam that hit Bugowski, it was traveling so fast that it didn't actually have enough time to reach its Bragg peak before exiting his skull.
So the very thing that made this beam so lethal, the speed, is potentially also what saved his life.
It's kind of a strange paradox, right?
Bizarre.
But, and this is the incredible part, after three agonizing months, Bugowski started to recover.
What? You're saying he lived?
Against all odds, yeah. The hearing loss in his left ear, that was permanent, and the left side of his face was partially paralyzed. But the thing that baffled everyone, his mind, his intellect, completely unharmed.
Talk about dodging a bullet. Or, I guess, dodging a particle beam.
You could say that. Bugowski returned to work, eventually earning his doctorate, and get this, he even went back to work at the U-70 synchrotron.
What?
He lived a full life, passing away in 2018 at the age of 75.
That's an incredible story.
It really is something.
I mean, what an amazing story of resilience and just the power of the human spirit to endure and to overcome.
Absolutely. Makes you think about what other unseen forces are out there, both inside and outside of us, shaping our lives in ways we can't even grasp.
And that's what makes these deep dives so fascinating, right? I mean, if we've learned anything today, it's that even in the face of what seems impossible, there's always hope.